Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Coffee and Culture at DSI. My name is Jamy Smith. I am the Chief People Officer at Darshakow Insurance. Happy Friday. This week, I get to sit down and talk to Stephen Mandell, who heads up our trucking department. Hey, Stephen, how's it going?
Hey, doing good, Jamie. How are you doing?
Good, good. I'm just sitting out in the sun, enjoying this Florida weather, and hopefully not going to get a sunburn on my head this time. So
I understand the burnt head part.
John Dar is always worried about me burning my head. And I'm sitting right under the sun right now.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I get a chance finally, after you working here for 6 years now, me working here for 5. You and I have never sat down and done a coffee and culture together. So I'm excited.
I finally feel like one of the in crowd.
Well, you're part of the popular kids club now. So welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I gotta show you my special cup for those people who like coffee cups.
Yes, that is an awesome cup too. So, Stephen, you are going to be celebrating, I think, next week, your 6-year anniversary with DSI.
Yep.
And it's been, at least in my opinion, it's been a great 6 years, 5 years that I've got to spend with you. But what have you liked about the 6 years that you've had here with DSI? I'm sure that you've gone through a lot, but tell me what that journey has been like for you.
So yeah, I came to DSI as a previous agency owner. So coming from an environment of being my own boss to then entering the world of having a boss, you're always a little weary about how's this going to go. And it has gone better than I could have ever imagined. Ray Shackhow's never acted like my boss. He's always acted like, I am here to provide what you need to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
He's always up for asking me, what do I need next? And if it makes sense, he gives it to me. And it's nice to have that kind of environment to work in where I can just kind of be free and do my thing and be supported on the back end from it.
Yeah. Well, you guys have gone through a lot in the trucking department in terms of growth. I mean, when you joined, it was just a couple of people, and now you've got, this huge team of CSRs, agents. Tell me about what the evolution of the department has looked like for you since you've been here.
So yeah, we've really changed it from when I started, we had 4 agents and 1 CSR. Over the years, we've just continuously analyzed how we operate with our clients. And we've shifted the mindset that we needed to provide more service intensive. Intensive is probably not the right word. We needed to just flat out provide more service to our trucking clients. Trucking is a different animal than any other kind of insurance, and our clients have needs on the daily. So that was one of the things in talking to Ray and Rich and Johnny, and just said, hey, we got to make a material change in how we do this. They were on board with it. It took us about a year in the transition, but once it made the turn, the sky was the limit at that point. The customers just love us, stayed with us, and we were able to grow because of that. Yeah.
How has COVID this year? I mean, 2020 obviously has been a crazy year for everyone. How has COVID impacted the trucking industry, your team, all that?
So very, very interesting year, 2020. Trucking is a roller coaster ride to begin with. 2020 had this new wrinkle. One, we went from being a remote to being an office to now being remote again. So our entire trucking department is remote. That was a shift in how we operate internally. And then for the industry as a whole, trucking got decimated in April and May. When you tell the whole world to stop going out, people don't understand that everything you buy comes to you on a truck. So when you stop buying, what the truck doesn't have any way to make money. So a lot of that industry just disappeared. It kind of reminded me of the '08 recession when the housing market collapsed. And that was one piece of an industry that kind of went away. In this aspect, it was the whole thing. I mean, housing, people weren't allowed to go look at homes. So people stopped building homes, stopped buying homes. Like the whole world just stopped and trucking companies just went away. We were very fortunate that we were able to manage it well. I can't say see it coming, but we managed it well. We took a customer service, like a customer first approach, in that our mindset shifted from a sales mentality to a service mentality. We really put forth a lot of effort into figuring out how do we keep our customers in business to make it through this. A couple months were rough, but then the industry turned. People figured out what to do and how to live in the COVID lifestyle. And then trucking slowly started coming back. I feel like we made some lifelong friendships out of our clients because there was a lot of people who were looking at going out of business, and we were able to keep them in business. And now they're that much far ahead of their competition because they weren't trying to reopen. They just restarted. So we were fortunate in being able to figure that out for those guys and provide a solution to keep them going.
Mm-hmm. So there's, a lot of trucking agents that your clients can choose from to put their insurance with across the country. What makes you the best person for your clients, prospective clients, to want to do business with you versus someone else at another agency?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
That's a big question for a Friday.
You really want me to toot my own horn here, I guess. So, I've been at this insurance thing for a little over 14 years now. And through that tenure, I've really gotten it figured out that honesty is the only way to do this. We're salesmen, but I'm selling a product you are required by law to buy. So I'm no longer a salesman in my eyes. I'm a product specialist. And my job is, today world, just focus on price. But in truck, you have to put the coverage in play. And the idea would be, if I can explain all of the things associated with how this works, you can now manage your business better. And through that approach, I have been really successful in creating loyal clients. Mm-hmm. They appreciate understanding how their insurance works, not just buying a product that maybe they use, maybe they don't. I've always thought it was a travesty to find out how your insurance works when you have a claim.
Yeah.
So I personally approach it that way. I think people appreciate the clarity. And I would say that's why they choose me over other people.
Okay. Well, why did you choose DSI originally? And what has kept you at DSI for 6 years? What do you like about the company?
Yeah, so I love this story. Again, I was an agency owner, and we had a rep from Progressive that was the same rep for Darshak. And when I wanted to sell my business, I had created a relationship with this guy, and I told him, I said, look, I'm getting out of owning my own agency. I still love this job. I want to find a home, but I don't just want to work for any old body. Mm-hmm. The first thing he said was, I know exactly who you should go to work for. I'm going to call him for you now. Well, DSI wasn't hiring. So the introduction took a little bit of time to get going. And finally I called him. I said, look, man, I've sold my agency. I'm now job hunting. I really want to reach out to these people. I had a lot of faith in my rep. So when he said they were good people, I said, I got to get an interview. Just set it up. And, I'm a faithful man, and fate would have it that Ray had just gone to Progressive and sat down with a bunch of insurance agents that were trucking related. And they shared with him a lot of insight on what they do in their agency. And when our rep called Ray and said, I got a guy for you, and Ray said, well, what does he do? And he does all the things you just heard that you wanted to do in your agency from Progressive. So he said, sure, let's have him down. Let's have a visit. I think it was 3 or 4 days later, I drove down on a Friday afternoon from Tallahassee to Gainesville, sat with Ray. In Stephen fashion, I sat there for probably 4 or 5 hours, and I was sold in the interview. My only hang up was, did I sell Ray? Did I tell him enough for him to want to take a risk on bringing me on board? He called me that Sunday, offered me the position. I started that Monday morning.
Wow.
I haven't looked back since, and I wouldn't change a thing.
That's awesome. I've heard that story before. It's definitely a good one. And I think that they made obviously the right decision. You've done some amazing things in our trucking department over the past 6 years, and we're all very thankful for that and very thankful to have you on the team and also leading that team now. When you look at what it takes to be successful on your particular team, so when you and I are looking to fill a role on your team, what are you looking for in a candidate that it's going to not only impress you, but make you feel that this person really has what it takes to be successful here on my team? What does all that look like to you?
So there's a couple of things I really look for. We are in an industry with truck drivers, and some of our clients can be rough. So one of the things I look for is, can you separate a customer who is, I don't want to say unhappy, because these people aren't unhappy, but when they call and they ask for something, they want an answer, and they can be brash about their answer, but I need a person who can differentiate between a customer is upset with me or upset with the process that he's dealing with right now. So we call that thick skin, but really it's just an understanding of what this industry is about and why this guy's upset. Because he's not upset at us. He's upset that he can't do something and he's losing money. And we're the solution to that. Number 2 is attention to detail. To me, that's a requirement in any job, but in this industry, I can't afford messing up for my clients. T's crossed, I's dotted from start to finish every time. We have to get it right. If we don't get it right because we're not perfect, we have to be willing to own up to our mistake and fix it immediately. There's no waiting around with what we do. If we figure out something's wrong, we contact the client right then. We explain what's going on, but we call him with a solution. So that's the type of employee I'm always looking for, is really this go-getter, unafraid to dive in and be a problem solver. So that's, okay. If I can find that, I can teach you how to do this.
Last question for you that I have is, you're one of those people that you're constantly working. I know that if I needed to call you or, IM you at any time during the day or call you in the evening or even on the weekends, if I needed to text you for something, I'm going to get a response. You're that type of a person. What's the passion specifically with trucking insurance? What do you love about it? Because you obviously love doing what you do. So what do you love about trucking insurance?
I do love what I do. Again, almost 15 years, 14 plus in this industry. I've never sold any other type of insurance. I love the clients that I deal with. I love getting to know them and their families. A lot of trucking companies are made up of husband and wife teams. I love the personal aspect of it, to where when you do good for a client and they call you and they tell you, you've really changed my business for the better. That's my personal enjoyment out of it. John Darr always said, we're selling financial security to our customers. We're protecting their assets in an insurance policy. And you couldn't say it any better than that. It's 100% true that when you have a claim and we can pay that claim, I enjoy being able to tell a client, I talked to you years ago, set you up with a policy. When you finally needed it, we were there. And your finances were not a worry for you. That's what I'm doing this for. And
yeah,
I'm weird. I like it. I couldn't imagine myself doing any other thing. And I'll do this till I retire, as long as you guys will keep.
Well, awesome. Well, I've really enjoyed getting a chance to sit down and talk to you and finally do this coffee and culture with you. I will tell you that Ray Shakow is going to be really, really disappointed that we didn't involve in your chickens or your rooster in this video, but maybe
I can go get it.
maybe next time we can do that. But thanks so much for sitting down with me. And if there's anybody out there that's interested in a career in insurance, we're always looking for great people at DSI. So please check out our website at darshakowinsurance.com and view our career page and apply online, and you can have a chance to come and work with an awesome guy like Stephen. So everybody have a great Friday. Stephen, have a great Friday, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Jamie. This was fun.